Hello, hello. I'm looking rough. Please excuse. Hope everyone's doing good today. It's very rainy and dreary here today. In fact, we've had some weather that was like 80, and then like today it's 54, I think, for the high and rain all day. So kind of weird. And then tomorrow's like 74, partly cloudy. Like that's Michigan for you. I feel like I always start these talking about weather, but I guess I don't know what to talk about before you guys get here, so I just look for something random that isn't too exciting because, the exciting stuff I want to chat with you about. But hopefully we can, I put out on my community tab last week, asked for some like questions or topic ideas to talk about in our live, because I feel like I kind of end up just talking about the same things all the time, and you guys probably don't want to hear that. Like it's like I get stuck on something, well, because it's like whatever's like relevant I'm making up words now, relevant in your life right now. And so like that just tends to be what I gravitate toward talking about. But like that gets boring to talk about the same thing all the time. Like other people, we don't have like the same interests going on at the same time necessarily. And like, you know what I'm saying? So I thought it would be fun to get some like different ideas of stuff that we could talk about. And so I actually only had two people, Penny and Lenore is her name, which I love. I love that name so much. Anyway, they both left me some ideas. So I figured we can talk about those once people get on here and stuff. I feel like the quality of the video today is maybe not that great. And I'm sure it's probably lighting because of how like dreary it is out and stuff, but hopefully you don't mind. I don't look at, so we don't want no like HD, going on right now. You don't need to be able to see my face super well. So, or my hair, like I'm looking a mess. But I haven't even done my workout yet today. I've just been feeling kind of like, ugh. I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know if you can hear in the background. My washer is going, so it's kind of loud sometimes. So hopefully that isn't too annoying. But probably should have shut the laundry room door so it wasn't so loud. Which is funny because it's all the way at the end of the hall, like at the other end of the house. But my house is really small, so it sounds loud. But yeah, I've just been kind of getting stuff. Hey, Penny! Yay! It's my Penny. I've just been getting stuff done around the house this morning and like not feeling that great. But I think it's because it's dreary and stuff. And like I just feel kind of like tired. I didn't sleep very good last night. So I think that's kind of what my issue is. So I haven't even done my workout yet. So I'm going to do that when I get off of here. And I usually don't do that. Like I'm never like, I don't want to work out. I literally never feel like that. So I know it's just, I'm kind of like, eh. Yeah. And it's funny because this is actually like my favorite kind of weather. Well, I'd love if there was some thunder going on, but I don't know. I think because I didn't sleep good, so I'm already tired. So it's just giving me like that, like lazy kind of feeling. And so I know I'll feel good once hi, Christy. Hi, Anna. Yay. Hello, you guys. But yeah, I know I'll feel better once I work out and stuff. But I was like, okay, do I work out now and get all sweaty and yucky before I go on for my live? And I was like, no, I'm going to just do some laundry and clean up some stuff in the kitchen and just kind of doing some stuff like that. So that's kind of what I've been doing this morning. I had switched over last week, like Mother's Day, the Monday after Mother's Day. I switched over my wardrobe from winter to summer. And I did put I started a bag of donations and I put some stuff to the side to list on my Poshmark. And I started putting away some of my clothes, but I have way too many. Like I can't even fit them. It's ridiculous. And so I need to go through those clothes again. So I should probably do that today. So maybe that'll be like my workout and then go through and do all that stuff. So I don't think I really have to plan like much for dinner tonight because like nobody's going to be home. So that's kind of nice. I don't need to, I say that, but my husband honestly typically cooks. But yeah, it's like I'm probably just gonna do something simple so I can kind of just spend the evening going through some stuff I need to do. Oh, yay! Okay, I'm definitely gonna check that out, Anna. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad that you did that because I definitely need to. I had gone through a while ago and I took some stuff out of my Poshmark closet and stuff and changed prices on some things and stuff like that. But I have a whole, I think I have two like garbage bags full of stuff that I need to list. Um, so that's something that I need to kind of make more of a priority of doing and like promoting, like sharing things on my, well, I'm going to watch your video. So I know what the heck I should be doing because I just honestly don't know. So yeah, I would like to be able to do that. Hello, welcome. But yeah, I just, I'm having one of those days where it's like hard to get myself moving and like I haven't really had those that much lately. I will do again, like at the end of this live, I will put in the description box my Poshmark closet. So anybody who's watching who would like to see what's in my Poshmark closet, I will do that. And then honestly, if anybody has, does it let you, if you put your Poshmark from your death pile, that's hilarious. If you guys put in like a comment, like on a video, does it like flag if you put your Poshmark closet, like your link? I don't know if that does that or not. Cause I was gonna say anybody who has one then like could leave in the comments so that like everybody can find each other's. But yeah, I'm not sure how that works. I have to check that out. I know it is funny though too. I did just have somebody ask me a couple questions on some stuff, so I need to measure some things. Um, my IG at Danielle 70 at Danielle G 78. Is that what you're talking about? Oh, send it to you on IG. Send me your on IG. Now that I've read it, I know what it says. Oh, such a doof. Okay, let me see here. I will do that so then I can. Uh, well, okay, my closet is at Gersten 78, so I don't know if that matters or like if you need a um yeah, because how can I find it on here? I'd like to be able to send it from because it doesn't show me like a website when I'm on. Mm. Oh, now I see you can like connect. You can connect to Instagram and stuff. Okay, let me see. I have to figure that out after. Is it just like Poshmark.com/Gersten 78 or something? Is that like how it does it? I'm honestly not sure and I can't tell on my phone. It's not showing me like a link that I can see. Let me see. Oh wait, here, copy link. All right. I'll get there, kids. All right, Penny. Let me see if I can send this to you. I'm trying. It's taking me a minute here. I'm technologically challenged because, as I've mentioned, my husband's a tech guy. I just always go here. I don't know what to do with this. Can you do this? There we go. Okay, sent it to you. I know Penny's profile picture is awesome. The blue hair like goes so well. Okay. Yeah, I will end up putting it in my description, and I actually should just have it in my like, permanently in my description box for my videos, so if anybody's interested. So I will have to do that. Thank you, Christy, that makes me feel better that you're technologically challenged too. I'm like, things that seem like they should be easy. I'm gonna be really honest with what the issue is. I am impatient, and when something, like, takes too much work to figure out, I'm like, "Whatever, I just don't even care." Like, I seriously do that with stuff, like, not even just technology stuff. Like, sometimes I have to just walk away from things for a few minutes or several hours and then go back because I just get, like, irritated, and then I don't wanna do anything. Kate! Hello, Kate. Yeah, and I do have a touch of lazy too. Touch of lazy. If I'm being honest. I've told you guys that before. Yes, get irritated and then lazy. That's yeah, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. I know, I'm so happy, Kate. I missed you last week. But yeah, so there's my closet, and I need to add some stuff and stuff like that. So, um, I'm excited to watch Anna's video now because yeah, I need help. I need lots of help. I mean, I need more help than what her video is gonna, I've got several issues I need help with, but that's a start. I'm excited. I should be drinking coffee right now. I have my water. I don't have coffee right now. I drank a lot of coffee this morning though. Hey, Melinda. Hello. I probably will make coffee actually when I get off of here. Well, no, I'll work out first because otherwise I will just keep finding reasons to put it off. And I don't even want to do that. Like, I never do that. So, yeah, it's just a kind of a weird day. There's more that goes to it, but I don't want to mention it right now. In next week's live, I'll talk about it, but it's because of the timing right now. I don't want to say it. But and no, I'm not like pregnant or something weird. It has nothing to do with like me, actually. But oh Lord, if I was pregnant, I wouldn't be on here. You would find a post on my community tab that says I am like being committed, like because no, no, so much no. Yeah, me too. Can't even imagine. Like, here's a forwarding address if you would like to send encouraging mail to Danielle while she's in the institution. Oh, I know strange things like that happen. Yeah, I hope not to me. Too funny. I actually had a dream the other night that I adopted. Well, not I did hadn't adopted. There was this little boy, like who was like a little over a year old, and for some reason, it was like I knew whatever the situation was that I should probably adopt him. Like he needed a family and whatever. And when I woke up, I was like, oh my gosh, like what, whatever. I mean, obviously, if God sent me into a circumstance where that was the case, I'm going to do what he asked me to do. But I was just like, where did that come from? But I think the reason I even was thinking that was because I had been talking to my cousin who adopted a little girl. And so I think it was because I had been talking to him and stuff. So I was like thinking about adoption and stuff like that because of that. So I'm like, okay. That's all that was, right? Right? Yeah, no kidding, Kate. That's so funny. Yeah, no. We'll wait for grandkids. I'm good. Good. No, I don't think so. Too funny. Uh, there's been exciting changes happening around here. Oh, you've got this weekend to yourself. Good for you, Christy. I have the house to myself for about maybe half an hour, no, 45 minutes until my son gets home from school. But I have been this morning. Both of the like my one son works at 10 and he works like half an hour away. So he leaves a little before 9:30. And then my other son usually works at 10 too, but he had an appointment this morning first. So he was gone way earlier. And my husband and Asher left early for school this morning. So I've been home. Like I slept in and it was fabulous because I did not sleep good last night. So it was like I could get a little bit of sleep this morning. And then I've had the house to myself. So I've just been having a lazy kind of day. Oh, they are going to Disney. That's right. They're so lucky. I want to go to Disney. Yeah, Alyssa's not having kids. Has she always kind of not really wanted to have kids or? Oh, hi, Lisa. Hello, hello. Hey, Mandy. Ah, I get like this high when everyone comes on, like really excited. Oh, yay. That lovely sound, I don't know if you guys can hear it, would be my washer going off balance because there's towels in there. And I feel like every time I do towels, like it goes off. It doesn't matter what size the load is. If it's small, medium, large, it goes off balance every time. Watching it work. Shh. Okay, I won't tell anyone. Oh, I would be crazy right along with them, Christy. I would totally go to Disney all the time if I could. Oh my gosh, I would love it. Or like I might not just go to Disney all the time. I'd probably like do Universal and whatever, but because I really do love Universal too. So, um, but yeah, if I had the opportunity to do that, heck yeah, I would. Kate, why? Why are you not sleeping? Oh my gosh, thank you, Mandy. I was saying, I'm like, I haven't worked out yet today, so I'm in all like my workout attire and whatever, and my hair just, bleh. But I was like questioning earlier because I was like, should I work out and take a shower and get ready before I go on my live? And then I was like just feeling kind of lazy. I say I was feeling lazy, but I have been getting stuff done, but I just haven't worked out and stuff yet. So I did not get ready. I was saying I'm glad this isn't like, high definition quality of this video, so you can't really see exactly what I've got going on. Oh yeah, that's right, Christy. I have seen them in like some videos when she did like taking over Christmas presents and stuff. That's so cute. Oh, Penny, doesn't it drive you nuts? I'm like, what needs to happen here? Like, I evenly distribute stuff when I put it in, and like it's a high or a large capacity washer. So it's a top loader one. I didn't get one of the front loaders because people in my family who have them have had some miserable experiences. So they highly suggested not getting those. But so it's a top loader. And so it doesn't have the middle agitator and stuff. But it's like, what happens? I mean, I get it. Like the water is in there and it's moving everything around. But it's like, how does so much stuff get shoved to one side or something? I don't know. But it drives me crazy. I'm like, oh, I hate that sound. Every time I hear it, I'm like, oh. I'm in Michigan. Hi, Auntie Barbara Jean. Hello, hello. You guys may have noticed the Thrifted Look for Less challenge was on Sunday, and I missed it because I'm a moron. And because the challenge always is the third Sunday of the month, but because the first fell on a Sunday, that made this past Sunday the third Sunday. But in my mind, this whole time, it was this coming up Sunday. So I had already planned when I was recording and all that. I did not realize, and I even talked about it last week on my live, like, oh, Thrifted Look for Less challenge, blah, blah, but not realizing that it was that weekend. And so, yeah, so I messed up and I didn't realize it until Friday. And then I had a bunch of stuff going on Saturday. So I just did not have time to stop what I was doing, get ready, record, edit, and all that stuff to have it up for Sunday. So I missed it. And I hate that because it's my favorite one. Thank you, Christy. But yes, I'm like, ugh. Oh, and thank you for the thumbs up. Oh, Mandy, that's hilarious. Good for you going on a walk for your lunch. That's awesome. Nap in a shower. Is it hot there? Because today in Michigan, it's like 54 degrees and raining. But then tomorrow's like 74 and partly cloudy. This is what we do. This is what we do around here. Friday is supposed to be almost 90. So yeah. But I think rain again. Oh, okay, Kirsty, she babysits and stuff a lot. Sometimes that can be good birth control. Like, "Oh, this is fun, but I get to leave," and yeah. Oh, no, I'm not blaming you, Barbara Jean, at all. I'm just saying I, like, was just totally. Because I mean, how often does, the first fall on a Sunday like that? I don't know, it just I was thrown all off. So so I was bummed to miss it, but I'm going to pre-record for June and July and maybe August because those are super busy months for us. So, like, as far as, like, we're off doing stuff, and I just wanna be able to have it done ahead of time so I don't have to worry about missing it. Oh, it's 80 there right now, okay. Oh, 87 in Texas, shut up about what, Lisa? Oh, 90. Oh gosh, no. Yeah, I don't like it. Oh, Mandy. Don't get it twisted. Hey, but you still went for a walk. You could have had 2 pieces of pizza and just sat in your office, right? Right? Girl, give yourself some credit. Yeah, Penny, like, we have crazy weather around here. Well, I mean, you're not here, but you're close enough. Like, we have very similar weather, I feel like. Yeah, I think a few of us are gonna do that. Just it makes it easier to pre-record. I just have really good intentions for that. And then sometimes I will go through and I will just be in a mood where I'm like recording a bunch of different makeup looks and a bunch of different stuff. And I've got things scheduled for like weeks out at a time. And then it's kind of like I've been kind of in a rut, having a hard time getting myself to go in and record. And I'm not really sure why. Um, yeah, I really don't know why. But I also have kind of told myself, like, for summer and stuff, sometimes we do things kind of like on a whim a lot in the summer. Or my husband will work like 4 10s, so he has 3-day weekends because he works at a school, but he works all through the summer. And so we kind of sometimes will do like kind of last minute, like, oh, let's go do this or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about having 2 videos every week in a live. Like, there might not be a live some weeks. Well, I'm sure there won't be sometimes. I'll let you guys know ahead of time, and there might not be, more than one video in a week. Like, I don't think any of you are like going to be devastated or anything. But I mean, I just can't worry about it. Like, then it makes it not fun to me, and I don't want to do that. I never want this to not be fun. So definitely just kind of, seeing how things go. Yes, balance, Mandy. You are right. Pizza and a walk. Good balance. Oh, yeah, you've got your pool ready. I'm sure anyone here who has pool, well, my sister has a pool, but I know they haven't been in it yet because it has not been warm enough to heat it up. Oh, okay. 10 degrees difference. Pretty typical. Aw, Penny. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, Lisa. Well, good luck to you on that. I hope everything goes well. Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. When I get in those moods and I'm like, "Ooh, I feel like recording this," and I have like all these ideas going, it's really fun and do that. But then I'm not going to make myself feel bad when I'm kind of in a place where I'm like, I just don't really have like ideas for anything right now or feel like inspired to do, you know what I mean? Like, let's be real. I'm never going to be like this huge channel and like this is going to be an income for me or something. So, my husband and I were kind of talking about it the other day. He's like, "I love that you have your channel. Like, it's awesome because I see, like, how you get excited about things and the friends you've made and just whatever, like," and he super supports me like crazy, and he's like, "Just don't force yourself to do things that you don't wanna do," you know? Or, like, because actually what was happening was when I realized on Friday that that challenge was Sunday, I was, like, all, like, worried about it and sick about it, like, "How am I gonna do this? I don't know how I'm gonna fit this in and make time on Saturday," because we were getting ready for people to come over, and so we were cleaning and doing food prep stuff and whatever, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to stop what I'm doing and go take a shower, get ready, and film this, and then try to edit it too. And I was like, I just, you know what I mean? It was like making me feel panicked, kind of. And finally, my husband goes, "Okay, do you have to do this? Like, is this something you have to do? Like, you're obligated somehow to do?" And I'm like, No." And he's like, "Then why are you doing that to yourself?" And I'm like, I don't know. And then after I sat and thought about it, because I'm like, I love doing it. And yeah, which is awesome. But are you loving the idea of doing it right now? And I'm like, no. And he's like, okay, why are you doing this to yourself? And so when I really thought about it, I was like, you're right. And so I felt bad to back out at the last minute because that's what I felt like I was doing. Um, but once, ooh, a bird just hit the window. Oh, I hate that. But once I sent the message, like, I'm sorry, I'm just not going to be able to do it, it was like, like the relief that came over me. And he's like, "See, don't you feel so much better? Like, wasn't that worth it?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "Just don't do that to yourself." And I'm like, I know. Why do we do those things to ourselves? Like, in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter if I miss out on a challenge for the month? I don't think it does. Aw. Which I did see that I'm a little behind on her videos. I'm behind on that's another thing. I have been watching some, but I've been actually watching some different, well, the whole Amber Heard and Johnny Depp thing. I have not been watching that, but I've been really watching like Christina Randall. I love her videos that she does about that. So I've been watching that stuff. I've been watching a lot more like some of the others. Here's the thing. I like to comment. You guys know. If you got a channel, you know. And I leave long comments usually. So I like to watch and comment as I'm watching. And so unless I'm just sitting down and specifically doing that, I don't really want to watch people's videos. Like, okay, how am I trying to say this? I want to watch. So when I can't sit and comment, if it's something I'm like watching while I'm doing something else or whatever, I want it to be something that's like not a person that I'm supporting. You know what I mean? It's more just somebody that I watch because I like the true crime content, or a nail video that I'm watching how they do stuff, but I'm not going to comment on it. So that's the stuff I will watch. So I've been doing more of that lately because I've been busy doing some other things. And so so I'm behind on like the people who I support videos a little bit. So I'm kind of trying to make that balance. Ooh, in the hundreds, Anna. Oh goodness. Oh yeah, I bet. Oh my gosh. That's way too hot. Yes. And that challenge is so much fun. I absolutely love it. So it was a total bummer to miss it, but I'm like, okay, but like not worth stressing myself out for. Thank you, Penny. Yeah, Mandy, I get that. Like it's no fun if like it gets where it's like a job. Like, I mean, I know there's some people who like working. I don't. So if this feels like a job to me, I'm not gonna like it. Yeah, that's awesome. The thing is too, I feel like people can tell if you're just putting out content, because there's totally those people that I watch sometimes and I'm like, they aren't even excited about what their this video is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever want it to feel like that when somebody's watching my videos. Like, if I'm showing you something, it's because I'm excited about it, or it's something I want you to know about, or it's just something I'm feeling like doing. I'm I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna force myself to do something that I don't even enjoy. That doesn't even make any sense. Like, how would anyone else enjoy watching that? I just no. I have not tried that for editing. I've actually never heard of that, Anna. I just use I film on my iPhone, and then I have what is this called? A MacBook Air. And I just airdrop it to myself and I edit it in iMovie, which actually when I first so I used to edit on iMovie on my phone and then just upload it to YouTube. And well, I'd upload it to my computer, download it to my computer. Yeah. And then upload it to YouTube. Um, but when I got the MacBook Air, because I had a different laptop before, I started just airdropping it and editing on here. And at first, it took me a minute to get like the hang of it. It like took way longer than on my phone, but now that I'm used to it, I actually edit pretty fast. Like it does not take me long to edit most videos and stuff because I don't do like heavy editing. Um, I just, kind of do some simple stuff and, cut things out that don't need to be there or whatever. Um, oh my goodness. Hold on, I have to answer this. Oh, no, I don't. The school was calling, so it takes me off my screen where I am, and I'm like, "Oh no, the school's calling." That's not what it is. Oh, that's a bummer. They have graduation is on. I don't have a graduate, but my nephew is graduating. Um, Graduation is on Sunday, and they just sent out a thing that due to the prediction of inclement weather, it's going to be moved inside instead of outside. Ah, that's a bummer. But when I see like the school calling, I'm like, like why? I shouldn't because like my husband's usually there, so it's not if there's something with my son, he's going to take care of it. Oh, thank you, Penny. Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah. I hate how when a phone call comes in, it takes me off my screen and like to the like, okay, just pop up in the corner for me to accept or decline the call. Like, I don't know why it has to take me off of what I'm doing. Drives me nuts. Anyway, so with the trial stuff, yeah, I haven't been watching like the actual trial. I've just been watching Christina Randall's videos because she just does like her personality cracks me up, and she just calls things like she sees them, and so it's funny. Um, Oh, bye, Christy. Thank you so much for coming on, though. Thank you. Love you. I'll talk to you later. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of been something. Oh, so the questions and stuff that Penny and Lenore had um put for me to be able to talk about. Penny said, "What kind of movies do you enjoy?" And then, so I'll say that first. I love movies and books that are like thriller, suspense, um, mystery, like that kind of stuff where you're like trying to figure out who's doing what, what's going on, whatever. Those are my favorite kinds of books and movies. I love them. Um, Also, like my favorite movie ever is I Am Legend. And like just the idea of it is so creepy to me and weird. And like I have dreams sort of like that sometimes. So I think I can like relate like where I'm like the only person and like going into like I've had that dreams like that since I was young. Like a teenager, I remember having where I would dream that like everyone was gone. And so I would just go into like a mall and just try on a bunch of clothes and do different stuff like and no one was around. Like I don't know, really weird. So when I Am Legend came out, I was like, I feel like this is like things that I've like dreamt about my whole life. It's kind of funny. Um, so those are the kinds of movies and stuff I like to watch. Um, and and books I like to read. I also love Harry Potter, so I love to like read those books or watch those movies. Um, and like yeah, that's I love that kind of stuff. I also love the Chronicles of Narnia. Um, those are C.S. Lewis wrote those. He was an atheist who became a Christian, and he wrote some of the most amazing um, literature that just I don't know, like when I read anything of his, it's so like profound, and to know that where he came from to where he ended up and stuff, it's like I don't know, it's really cool. So he wrote the Chronicles of Narnia as like a book series, and then it was made into some movies and stuff. But it's just like I love the imagery of it and stuff, and it's made in a way for like, like kids to understand, and I as an adult appreciate it. Like, I don't know, so I really like that. Um, but yeah, so those are kind of the types of movies and stuff. And then she asked about some of my favorite go-to recipes. I'm not a good cook. I'm just gonna say that right now. I'm not a good cook. I don't do fancy things. Um, yeah, Penny, that's awesome. Kate, do you mean Harry Potter or Chronicles of Narnia? I love them both. And I'm not one of those people. Okay, so I know a lot of people who are like, okay, as a Christian, how can you like Harry Potter? Like that's about magic and stuff like that. But that's not what I like about it. What I love about okay, Chronicles of Narnia. Yes, so good. What I like about Harry Potter is the characters and the way they interact with each other. There's like, I don't know, there's just something about it that is very like touching to me kind of. And like I've said before, my favorite characters are Snape and Hagrid. I just love, and they're like sort of seem like polar opposites throughout, the movies and stuff, but there's just things that I like appreciate. Just the character, I don't know, the characters in those books and stuff are, I just love it. I love the friendships between, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and just, I don't know, there's just things about it that I really love. So for me, it has nothing to do with the magic aspect of it. And also, I believe we are, you know, I believe we're convicted about different things in our lives, things that would cause us to stumble or something like that. Like those are things that people have personal convictions that God gives them of things that they should stay away from or things like that. So I get it if there are people who feel like that's not something that they should watch or read or whatever as a Christian, and I'm totally fine with that. I support that. If you feel that way, then no, you shouldn't. But I don't feel that way. I've never felt that way. So I'm confident that you know, pray and listen to God for direction on things, and that if He didn't want me to, He would let me know. so, so yeah, yes, and that's how I feel, Penny. I know some people do feel differently, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's a personal thing. That's a lot of things in life. There are some things that are hard, like murder and stuff like that. Obviously, that's not okay for anyone. Everyone should feel convicted about that. But then there's other things that I think are just personal convictions that God gives to different people for different reasons. And so I can appreciate and understand why some people feel the way they do that way. But I don't feel that way for myself. So, that kind of thing. But oh no, that's fine, Penny. No, absolutely. Yeah, because that's how I feel. I mean, you within different things, I'm sure there are people who would think it's terrible that I watch true crime stuff. You know what I mean? Like, how can you find entertainment in it's more of being interested in like the way people's minds work and how people, I don't know, that's kind of my thing with true crime and stuff. But, like, I can see why there would be people who say, like, "That doesn't make sense. Why would you watch stuff like that when, this is obviously such a terrible thing," and whatever. So, I get those different viewpoints, I really do, and I can appreciate it and, you know, um, yeah, I can appreciate that people feel different ways. But, I also don't think that you should, because you feel personally convicted about something like that, that you should make other people feel like there's something wrong with them that they don't. Like, so, like I said, there are the hard, fast things that are like there is no black and white on, but then there's other things that are just personal. They really do, Penny. And I think it makes you aware of being smart about the kinds of things you do and how you pay attention to your surroundings, the kind of people that you allow into your life, or no, you don't need to hush. um, the types of things that sometimes, okay, so I am a very empathetic person, and I will see people sometimes, and I've gotten myself in some really bad situations because I feel so much for certain people, and it's like I just want to help them, which is a fantastic thing. I'm not saying that's wrong. But there are some people you have to be careful, you have to be a little guarded because there are people who take advantage of that and who seek out people that they can tell are that way. And so I have gotten myself in some situations with people who then cling on to you, and you can't, like, it's hard to break away from them. And it's becomes a negative thing in your life. It becomes a source of major stress and a little bit of fear, honestly, that, you know what I mean? You've let these people in so much, and now it's hard to get them out. And so that's what I feel like with a lot of true crime stuff. It really helps you see and be able to recognize some of the personality traits of like narcissists, and things like that, or people who are like abusers and things like that, like the warning signs of stuff like that, and to be just more aware of that these people are out there and to guard yourself against it. So that is a lot of like the true crime stuff for me. Also though, I'm so like amazed at the things that they can do to find who does this type of stuff. Like, the clues and the types of things they look for, and like these little nuances and things that like click for them, that they're like, okay, this is the type of person who did this crime. You know what I mean? So they know like the type of people to look for or whatever. I don't know. I think that is like fascinating. So that's like where I stand on true crime stuff, because I do love it. That is what I honestly, um, my husband always laughs because he's like, oh, do you want to watch something? Which, oh my gosh, there's another something we can talk about in a second. But we always laugh that it's like my two favorite things. This is not true, but are coffee and murder, because I'm like, just give me some coffee and we'll watch some murder shows, and like I'm happy, kind of thing. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's just stuff that I definitely find myself being intrigued by and learning from. But one thing, I am not a reality TV person. My husband's not either. Like, it's just not, a lot of it I think is so stupid. And I'm like, reality TV. No, it's not. These people know cameras are on them. That is not real. Like, no one acts the same when they know cameras are watching what they're doing compared to just in their regular life. So I'm like, reality TV to me is stupid. But anyway, again, if you like it, that's fine. But I'm just saying for myself, I'm not a fan. But so we had started watching because my sister and brother-in-law were talking about the show Married at First Sight. And we were like, what the heck, like kind of listening to what they were saying about it. Um, ooh, I might have to check that out, Kate. And so my husband and I, we had finished a series of something we were watching. And so he's like, oh, this is that show or whatever that your sister and stuff was talking about. So we decided to just watch. And it's like on the 10th season. I had never even heard of this before, but it's the 10th season, whatever, that we started watching. Oh my goodness. Like, I have never seen such a group of dramatic men in my life. Like, my husband and I keep being like the drama in this show is mostly the men. Like, it's ridiculous. But these people, like, I cannot even imagine. Just the whole concept of the show is basically like these people sign up and these experts match them with somebody, and you are going out and seeing the person for the first time as you walk down the aisle, or the groom is standing up there or whatever, and you get married. And it's like an 8-week thing. They go on a honeymoon, then they move in together, or they're supposed to, and then at the end of 8 weeks they decide if they want to stay married or not. And it's like, oh my gosh, these people. It's like it's a train wreck that you can't stop watching. But it's so infuriating. Some of the personality traits, like there's a guy on there who is just a compulsive liar. That is, to me, one of the worst traits anyone can have. Lying. Like, once you lie to me and I know you're somebody who lies, I'm sorry. I don't ever believe anything you say. And I kind of just disregard everything you say, which it sounds terrible, but it's true, because it's one of those things. That's the thing. you have to guard yourself against. Because if there's somebody who you know lies all the time, how can you ever put any kind of trust into them or anything that they say? And I mean, without putting yourself in a position of getting hurt or, whatever. But I'm like, this dude drives me crazy. But then he'll cry and give these reasons why, which may be the reason why. And it's sad, the reason why. But so go get help for it. Like, if you know this is an issue you have, go talk to a therapist, go get, whatever. Oh my gosh, you guys, like I could lose my mind. So we've been watching that. We have not finished the season. We actually watched an episode last night too, because they're like 2-hour episodes. They're really long. But I'm like, ugh. Yeah, no thanks to anything mainstream media. Ugh. Waste of time. I've never watched Love is Blind either, actually. Yes, Penny, for sure. That's the thing. I'm like, people who lie, it's like they live in a world of delusion, because how you think anyone believes, anyone who's around them for any, length of time, coworkers, family, friends, whatever, like people in social circles that they're in, everybody knows you're a liar. Like, you're not fooling anyone. But I think in their minds, they think they are. And it's like, I'm embarrassed for people like that, because it's like every time they talk, you're just like, oh my gosh. Like, because I know some of those people in real life. And it's just like, I don't get the lying. Like, that constantly having that, knowing like, oh, I have to maintain this because this is the story that I told. You know what I mean? Like, okay, this will tell you how much I can't stand lying. So this is hilarious. On Sunday at church, I was walking in, and my friend Chelsea walked up and she was like, "Oh, I love your dress." And I had this, actually it was a maxi, like, yeah, like a maxi dress that I got from Plato's Closet on my birthday, but it was an Old Navy dress that was brand new with the tags on it that I got for, well, I'll tell you that in a second. So anyway, I'm like, oh, because she knows I'm a thrifter and stuff. So we always talk about it and stuff. And she had a really cute, like, we both had like full wrap kind of dresses on, but they were long. And so we were talking, she's like, I've been really into dresses lately and blah, blah. And I got this one from Amazon. I'm like, oh, I've never ordered any clothes really. Well, I do have one thing from Amazon, but and so I was like, yeah, I got this from Plato's Closet. And I'm like, it was new with the tags on it. It's from Old Navy. And I'm like, for $4.99. And she's like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And I'm like, and I had noticed a lot of the prices went up at Plato's Closet. So I was surprised it was that cheap. And, so we're talking about it, whatever. Well, after I left, I kept thinking, I'm like, for some reason, I don't feel like that was the right price about that. Like, I feel like it was more, but I don't remember. So I literally came home, went to my video from my birthday haul to watch, because I knew I saw it on there how much I paid for it. And I actually paid $8 for it. Everything else was true. It's from Old Navy, new with the tags at Plato's Closet, but it was $8, not $4.99. So I sent her a message and I'm like, okay, it was driving me crazy because I felt like something just wasn't right with the price. So I went and looked and I said, because I am not a liar. And I'm like, so it was $8, not $4.99. Like, that's literally how much I hate lying. And I mean, that was not an intentional lie. It was just, I didn't remember right. But it was like, it was bothering me because I'm like, I told her this and I don't think that's right. Like, that's how much I cannot stand lying. So when people lie to me, I'm like, I just, yeah, that like shuts me down. I do not, there's no reason to lie. It's always going to make things worse, never better. Like, ugh. Yeah, maybe that's it. Yes. Like, I remember that. I remember my dad doing that to me. I lied about something and I cannot remember what it was, but he put dish soap in my mouth and it just foamed and foamed and foamed. Like, the more I'm trying to get it out, and that was terrible. So put dish soap in your kids' mouth. Well, I mean, that might not be healthy, but I mean, it's not like a lie. He put like a dot on my tongue, but it was just, and yeah, yeah, maybe that helped me out. I'll have to tell him, Dad, you know what? Remember when you put that dish soap in my mouth? And like, my dad didn't do those kind of punishments very much. So I know it was like something I lied about that he was really ticked, like, that I lied. But yeah, it's so funny, Kate. Yeah, like, don't lie to me, people, because if I find out you lie to me, I'm just gonna be honest right now, I'm gonna have a hard time listening to anything you say. And like I said, like on the show, the reasons he's giving for why he lies and like he realizes that he does it are legitimate. Like I understand how someone could come to that because of their circumstances. But again, if you know that you have this issue and where it comes from, you need to go get help so that you don't do that because nobody wants to be in a relationship with somebody who they can't trust. Like that's just not, that's a basic foundation of a relationship. And so it's like, oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I mean, we did get spanked and stuff. But honestly, that's another thing. We didn't have to get spanked very many times in our life because once you knew it was a legit threat, I mean, not a legit threat, that it was going to happen if, you did certain things, we didn't do them. And that's the same way with my kids. They could tell you they probably could not tell you 5 times in their life that they were spanked because once it happened a couple times and they knew that if I said if you do that again, you will get spanked, they didn't do it. And that's not a fear tactic you're using on your kids. It's realizing that there are consequences for what you do. And so they didn't need to get spanked. Like it's not like I was beating on my kids because they knew that that was, like you don't do certain things. Like that is not, you know, exactly, Penny. That builds character in you. As you're growing, like, yes, obviously when you get older, somebody's not going to spank you if you do, but it makes you realize that you don't want to do certain things. Like these things have a negative outcome. And so, yeah, I don't get it. I was just talking to somebody the other day about people opening up food in a grocery store and letting their kid eat stuff while they're shopping to keep them quiet. No, that's ridiculous. Like, we have not paid for this yet. You can sit in a cart and be quiet and behave yourself while we grocery shop. And then when we get to the car, if you've been good, you can have a snack. You don't open food and give it to your kids in the store. That drives me crazy. I'm sorry if anyone does that, but like that is something like I remember my mom getting ticked about when we were young, like when people would do that. I just don't understand it. Or putting something in their face for them to look at, like they have to be occupied. No, like kids grew up without things to occupy them. We all did. And like you just learned how to behave. Like that when you're in certain places, you just have to chill for a little while and let your mom do what she's got to do or whatever. And then, you know, like when you're done, you can go, I don't know. But it's stuff like that just makes me absolutely insane. Like I don't understand the like, oh, we have to appease the kids and keep them quiet. Like, no, you need to teach them that there are places that they have to be quiet. Like, or that they can't be running around or whatever. Like my kids get irritated with that. Like when they see people letting their kids do that, they're like, why do people let their kids do that? I'm like, I don't know, but I hope you'll remember this when you have kids so that you won't, because it's annoying. Oh, really, Kate? Wow. We don't have that here. See, that's different though. Like, so if like you're going in a store and they do that, that's fine. But it's not like you're like, oh, my kid's freaking out. I'm gonna open this bag of chips or this box of cereal and let them eat out of it while we're going through the store so that they'll, whatever. Penny, that's funny. And sometimes too, that's another thing. Like my kids, I mean, yes, they have talked back to me. Like, let's be realistic, all kids do that sometimes, but very rarely. Like my boys are very respectful to me and to my husband. And let me tell you, if they weren't respectful to one of us, the other, like if they weren't being respectful to me, my husband is on that. Or if they're not being respectful to him, I'm on that. Like they know we are a unified front and you are not like about to disrespect either of us or, whatever. And the way I hear some kids talk to their parents is unbelievable, or anyone. And I'm like, I am confident in knowing my kids would never, ever talk to somebody like some of these kids talk. There was actually somebody just recently talking about something about a kid spitting at them. And I'm like, And not a chance in this world. My kids never even dreamed of spitting at me. Like, but that's the thing. It's like, why? I don't know. I don't get it. People are afraid to tell their kids no about things. They're afraid to tell them like this is what's expected of you and I'm going to make sure you do it or there will be consequences. Like people don't want to do raising kids is hard work. If you don't want to put the hard work in, please don't have kids because then you raise these adults who are miserable for society to have to deal with. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's painful. I know. And the fact that people let their kids talk to them that way. You don't even demand that kind of respect from your kids, then you certainly can't really expect it from anybody else because, like, I don't understand it. You're basically saying, I can be treated however anybody wants to treat me. Like, I don't get that. Like, I don't know. Have like self respect enough to teach your kids to respect you and to respect other people. And that's showing respect to them by teaching them that. See, Barbara Jean, that is awesome because it was a reality to him then, like, this is not going to be allowed. This is not okay. And like, if you just kept like parents who just keep covering for their kids and making excuses for them, they grow up to be these adults who have absolutely no sense of responsibility or they expect that somebody's always going to come along and fix it for them so that they don't have to deal with things. Like we create these weird um expectations from our kids about uh, the way that life should be for them when we just and not we but people who do because I know several people like that too who like go into the school and yell at the principal because their kid got punished for something that their kid did and but they don't think that that's fair. Well, you know what, you're sending your kid to school and they're acting this way and there are certain things that are expected of them and if they don't follow through, then these are the consequences. Schools don't just usually have some random things they come up with. There's usually like, a code of conduct or things like that. You going in and trying to get them out of trouble is undermining the authority that is trying to teach them the right way. And so it teaches them to undermine authority and not take it seriously. It's like I don't know why people can't see that, but it's all about laziness. It really is. It's all about just not wanting to put the work in and not wanting to have to deal with your kids being mad at you or having to follow through on what you said or whatever. It's like, oh my gosh. I know. I know. Penny. Oh my gosh, that cracks me up. And I was just told a story recently about something with that, and I will not share it here, but yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's real effective. And it says a lot about why the kid acts the way they do. Yeah, Barbara Jean, that's the thing. They don't realize until they're parents how hard that is on you to do that. It is hard to follow through sometimes with things because it's like you don't want to see that. Like you don't want to have to take things that far, but you need them to know that that's reality. And it's like people create this, I don't know. It- All you have to do is look at our world, and it's very obvious that parenting went out the window a long time ago. Like most of the issues that we have are because people do not respect themselves or anyone else. And it's just, I don't know, unbelievable. I can't even imagine how hard that would be, but good for you for following through and knowing that would ultimately be the best thing. Like, definitely. Parenting is hard. It is hard. Like, I love my kids like crazy. And I think I have really good relationships with them because we mutually respect each other. They grew up learning respect and being respected. And we have such awesome relationships. My boys, like, I absolutely love them. I love spending time with them. They want to spend time with us. Like, that says a lot. And because there's so many people who it's not like that. And it's just, yeah. once you get past the hard, it's so rewarding. And I mean, there's still hard parts here and there with different stuff, but yeah, the reward of having, my kids who are becoming adults want to spend time with me and, are respectful of us, and we have fun together and we laugh and we play games and we do, you know, those are the kind of, and I'm so proud of who they are outside of our home. Like, not just who they are here. I'm proud of the people that they are outside, the way they treat other people and stuff. Like, that is the greatest reward to see that. And it was from a lot of hard work. And did we do everything right? Heck no, nobody does. Like, there's so many things that I wish I had done differently. I wish I had taught them more. I wish I would have made them work harder. We didn't really give them a lot of chores. I didn't teach them how to cook. Um, Stuff like that. So those kind of things I really wish that I had been better about. But I feel like in the things that matter the most, as far as character and things like that, I am thankful for the way that we were able to raise them. I know that is so scary, Barbara Jean. We were just actually talking about that. Like, what is it going to be like? Just the weird stuff that keeps coming up, like the weird things. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but that we are expected to just accept and go along with. I don't understand. I don't know what things are going to be like. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, you see people who have a need and they can't do it themselves, or it's very hard for them. Like, why aren't we coming alongside people and trying to help them like that? Like, I agree. It's awesome that he, told him, like, take that initiative and go do that. I know. I'm glad that Asher is going to be a senior, and then yeah, not. I do have to say, as far as public school stuff goes, where we grew up and where my kids go, it is a very small town, very small. We have up on at the end of like each wings in the high school. Um, One end says "In God We Trust," and the other end says I can't remember, but something else along those lines. Things like that where um, there are definite things that you don't see in bigger areas. And so I do feel like as far as public school goes with that, that we are in a small area and stuff, and it's not, um, I have to be careful how I say it. I don't know how to say it. Mainstream stuff that's going on is not very prevalent in our area, I guess is how I'll say it. And so there's not a ton of that kind of influence from staff and things like that. So for that, I am very thankful. But you can even see some of that stuff starting to change. And so I am glad that he will be out of school after next year. However, too, my kids are very strong in their convictions, in their beliefs. They do not back down. They do not let anybody tell them, you know, they that's another thing that is very important to me in raising your kids, you know, with those different convictions and morals and things like that, because they are not going to be easily swayed by anything. So that makes a big difference. Oh man, Penny. Yeah. Why would I do anything for free? Isn't it terrible? But that is the mentality of a lot of stuff. Like, people want everything for free, but they sure as heck don't want to do anything that they're not going to get paid for or somehow compensated for. It's such a messed up idea. And that was created somewhere. Like, somebody gave them that idea. Hi, Sue. Hello, hello. And Carla, hi. Oh, no, don't be sorry. Yay, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, goodness, Penny. So that's how you see exactly why he believes the way he does, that he should be compensated for doing it. Because clearly he was raised thinking that is how things should be. And again, I'm not saying you should be a pushover and just let people use you, but I am saying you should be, willing to, when you are able-bodied and can help somebody with something that they physically cannot do. Why in the world would you not want to do that? People who you say you've got a single mom who works constantly and stuff and has her, lawn needs to be cut. Why would you not want to go over and help her if you have the time? That kind of stuff where it's like these are simple things that we can do that make a huge impact on somebody else's life and helping them, taking some of their stress and things like that. Like it just doesn't make sense that you wouldn't want to do that naturally. Like how are we raising a generation of people who don't want to help other people? Like they only want things for themselves. Like, don't you realize that if you only want things for yourself, then you're never doing something for someone else? Why would somebody else do something for you? Like, how can you have the mentality of that people, I should have this, I should get, people should do this for me, this, but I'm not going to do that for them. Like, how does that work? Like, I don't really get it. It doesn't make sense. Oh, yay, Sue, that's exciting. Congratulations to him. Yay. Yeah, I don't blame you at all, Penny. A lot more people are homeschooling, that's for sure. Hi, Jen. Hello, hello. Yeah, no kidding, Barbara Jean. Oh my goodness. No kidding. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that thing about recipes, I never did really answer. I'm just not really a good cook. I don't have like tried and true, like I have very simple, um, you know, things that I'll cook. One of my favorite things to cook, actually, I cooked it the other day, and oh my gosh, actually, my husband cooked it technically, but I prepped it all. I love to do, I call them loose kebabs or deconstructed kebabs because I don't put them on the skewers. But what I really like, there's something called garlic expressions, like a dressing. I could not find it at the store when I was there, so I just got Italian dressing. But I cut up chicken, zucchini, summer squash, red onion, um, colored peppers, and carrots, and marinated them overnight. And then we have one of those black stone griddles, so my husband just put it all on there and cooked it. Oh my gosh, it's so dang good and so easy, and everybody likes it, except for Asher because he's kind of picky, so he likes the carrots and the chicken. Um, but yeah, so good. So that's something that I really like to cook once it starts getting warmer like this. Um, but yeah, I don't really have I'm not I'm not a good cook. So, and I just don't really like cooking, so that's probably why. So I just don't really. But so that's the thing too. Like you might have to struggle through some stuff, but you want to be able to do things for yourself if you can. There's so many people who are like, "Oh, I just can't. It's too hard for me, so I'm not going to. Someone else needs to do it." Like, I get it if there's things that you like actually cannot do. Like, that makes sense. But or if it's going to cause you to like hurt yourself or something like that, then of course not. But like the people who just use things as an excuse to never do anything, like that's sad for them too, because there's a sense of accomplishment in things that we do for ourselves. Actually, my son, Riley, he's going to start doing an online program for music production. That is kind of like his dream, as he wants to do something in music. And lately he's been very into like talking about, he was even saying like last night, he goes, I went to get in the shower last night and it was like, I just felt like I needed to pray. And he's like, and I haven't been doing that a lot and whatever. And he's like, but it was just like, God, I need direction. Like, what do you want me to do? Because he's like, I know what, like my heart, like my soul is in music, like I want to do something with music and that kind of thing. So he had kind of been looking into, this like music production stuff. We actually have a guy from our small tiny town who is a music producer and is pretty dang big. And so he actually is connected with him. He is helping him out with some stuff. And so he's like, I feel like it's time for me to really like dive into that. And so today he was kind of talking about it and like the cost of the program and stuff. And he said, I don't know like if like you and dad talked about it, if it's something like you want to go in on too, or if you want me to pay for it. Well, I told him, I said, you know what? I think this is the type of thing that you should invest in yourself in. Like, I think you will be very proud of, like, I did this. I invested, this money and time and stuff into this to create what I want. And he was like, you know what? Yeah, I agree. I like that. And so these are the kind of things like teaching your kids with stuff like that, where it's like, um, that importance of investing in yourself, taking care of yourself. And, I mean, obviously taking care of other people, but I'm saying not expecting other people to do it for you is what I'm trying to say about that. It's the same with, and I'm not going to get into this because I've talked about it a lot, but me right now with, the working out and changing my lifestyle, I'm investing in me and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel accomplished. I have like a satisfaction about it that nobody else can do that for me. And so stuff like that, where it's like, make those investments in yourself, do things that you are able to do, push yourself to things that you think you might not be able to, but like you might be surprised that you can, and so those are things that like I think are important about not just sitting back and expecting other people to do for you. You lose that. Anything that's free and easy, um you don't have the appreciation for as much as things that you actually invest part of yourself into. And yeah, so there's that. Oh no, Sue, yeah, all the vegetables. Sorry. uh Kate. Oh, you have a good system now going, Kate, with that. That's good. Yeah, I hate cooking. I don't feel inspired by it. It's not something that I'm like, "Ooh, I can't." Like occasionally I'll be like, "Ooh, I want to try this recipe." And like I'm excited to see if people like it. That those are few and far between. Like I am just not somebody who enjoys cooking. And honestly, because of that, I could just eat the same kind of stuff all the time just because I'm too lazy to like want to put the effort in. I don't want something that's a ton of ingredients, takes a ton of prep work. In fact, so I knew I had the chicken out thawing and I knew I wanted to make that stuff on Saturday. So I needed to chop it all and marinate it overnight Friday. And at 10:30 at night on Friday, I went, "Oh no, I never cut up all that stuff." So I started at like 10:45 cutting up all the stuff. I was like, "This is so miserable." But then I was really glad on Saturday, or yeah, on Saturday. And then we even still had some leftovers on Sunday from it because I made a ton. It was so good. Yeah, and Jen, like, I know you're a go-getter, so you get it. Like, you invest in things, well, and right now some of the stuff that you're, dealing with for yourself health-wise and stuff too. Like, you're investing in yourself. And there's such a satisfaction in that you can't get, any other way. Well, that's good, Sue. Good for you. Now you can just relax and enjoy the rest of the day. I know, isn't that funny, Penny? Like, because I know a lot of people like that too who love cooking and baking and stuff like that. And I get why some people might. But it's not me. But that's what I love too. Everyone has different passions. There's different things that set us on fire. You know what I mean? And I think that's so cool. And I love knowing what different people's passions are and why they feel that way about it. And, stuff like that. Like with Riley, he's like, yeah, I kind of want to show you. And he goes, Mom, was thinking, like maybe I could make some music for your videos and stuff, like produce music for your videos so you have unique music. And I'm like, I would love that. Like that would be amazing. So look forward to that because that's the kind of stuff that I'm like, once he gets like a YouTube channel going and stuff, I'm gonna ask you guys to help, just support and send people that way. But he has such a passion for music and just wanting to create and stuff. And that is not my passion. I don't know anything about it. Whatever. But it makes me so excited to see him so excited. So I love that we don't have to have the same passions, but you can be so dang excited for other people about theirs. Oh goodness, Maureen. Honestly, I have no idea. Like I don't know what I would do. I I feel for you so much because oh my gosh, I just don't know. I hate that you have to go through that. Oh, senior, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yay! A Glamburger with cheese, please. Oh, I love you. Thank you. Oh, girl, you're on the treadmill right now. Look at you. She's multitasking. Jen is like, she's in it. That's the thing too. The more things that I find that I can like multitask doing things, like I get excited about it. Like, oh, I can do this while I'm doing this, and it shaves some time off of whatever. Like that makes me feel good when I can do that. See, and that's the thing too, Barbara Jean. Like, if he gets where he's starting and doing that and producing different music stuff, he can start, selling little jingle things for people for their channels and do. So I'm like so excited about it to see what he, gets going into doing. So yeah, and I know he will be thrilled to hear stuff like that because yeah, I'm just so excited about it. I like my cheeks actually kind of hurt from the way I'm smiling, but it's like, to see your kids be able to have this passion and be able to put it into practice, like to be able to do it. It's like I'm so excited for him about it. Yeah, Penny, that would be perfect. That would totally be perfect. uh Awesome. And one of my favorite things to do is read, and I have not been reading like hardly at all over this past year at least. And I'm like, you know what? This summer, that is something that is going to be a priority to me. That's something I enjoy. I want to read. So there's some things that I am going to be able to say, okay, like maybe I don't get another video up this week because I'm just not really feeling something to record. And I'm going to take that time that I would put into that and I'm going to read instead. So I'm kind of excited about some of that stuff about just being realistic with myself about what I want and what I need, like what is going to make me happy. You know, I don't know. There's too many things in life that stress us out that we have no control over. The things that we do, like it's stupid to like let things stress you out that you can control, you know? So it's like, I, why am I doing that? Yes, we could totally have our own jingle maker. I agree. And I know he would have so much fun doing it too. In your lab creating beautiful scents. I love that. That's so cool. Or something I just thought of that I was like, "Ooh, I can tell you guys that." What was it? How quickly my mind, things are fleeting. Oh, I know what it was. Um, a friend of mine that she over the past like year or so has gotten into she does uh oh gosh, what's it called? It's lifting. So she changed her channel name to Lid Lifts. Um, and she like has been killing it. Like she does so awesome. I love seeing her and just the confidence that she's gaining. And she was talking about, so she posted something on Instagram yesterday and she had shorts on and then like these sleeves that go around like your calves, whatever, when you're lifting, because she's like heavy lifting. And she put a post about like you know I told myself I wasn't gonna wear shorts until I got, like, to a certain size, and then these, leg sleeves make my legs look even bigger because they squeeze, so then stuff pushes out on the other ends, and, she's like, and then I'm like, I have been beating myself up my whole life and making these stupid little rules for myself about when I would be worthy to do certain things or, wear certain things or whatever. And like, I'm not doing that anymore. And I was like, it resounded with me so much. And I was like, boom. Like, and I'm like, I do the same thing to myself and make these little rules. Like, well, when you lose 10 pounds, you can do this. When whatever, like, and place like, these expectations and rules on myself about stuff about my body and stuff that it's negative. Like it's not a positive thing. It's not a like, oh, as a reward, when you lose 10 pounds, you can do this. It's like you need to lose 10 pounds before you allow yourself to do that. Like that is the mentality that I have about things. And it's just so negative and disgusting. And I would never place that kind of negative expectation on other people. So why in the world do I do it to myself? And just her saying that, it made me think about it so much. And I'm like, I'm not doing that to myself anymore. Like, I love that she was just honest about that and said it. And she's on there in her shorts, whatever. Like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. Like, I'm really wearing shorts. And, like just these things that we do that it's like, sometimes you just need somebody to like verbalize it. And it's like, yeah, I do that. Why do I do that? Like, oh my gosh, makes me crazy. Oh, bye, John. Love you. I saw you have another video that just came out. So I look forward to watching that. Yay. But yeah, oh, like you guys, if you do that to yourselves, stop it. We need to stop it. Take cover, naysayers. I agree. Like, I'm sorry, but screw people who have stuff to say about other people's bodies and what they wear. That irritates me so bad. Oh my gosh, so bad. And just because maybe you think to yourself, and you know what, like you can decide for yourself what you want to do. If you think like, oh, if I had that body, I wouldn't wear that. Well, then good for you. If you had that body, don't wear it. But that doesn't mean they shouldn't. Like, it's so frustrating to me that people do that. Again, why are your expectations of what other people should look like important? Mm, I'm sorry, they're not. Like, why don't people realize like oh, that stuff makes me insane. Yes, for sure. I actually was trying on like my bathing suits the other day and stuff, and I was like, like they're not. I don't feel like fantastic in them, but also I'm like, yeah, but I don't feel terrible, and I'm working on my body. Like I cannot. If I was doing nothing and sitting complaining about like, oh, I don't like this about my body, I don't like that about my body, but I'm not doing anything about it, then I could be irritated with myself. But I am working on it. So it's like I don't need to be upset about it. Yeah, I'm not where I want to be yet, but that's okay. Like it's fine where I am right now. And I don't know, like it's just and so then when other people like we all have our insecurities when someone else points out something on somebody that obviously is maybe, well, I shouldn't say obviously, that may be an insecurity to them as well. Like that is so freaking terrible. Why would you ever want to make someone feel like that? Like, how can you not stop yourself and go, okay, I don't like this particular thing about myself. Maybe you have a big nose or whatever it is. There's nothing wrong with having a big nose. But I'm saying, like, if you think like I have a big nose and I don't like it, if you think about somebody saying something to you about it, how like upset it would make you. Why would you want to point something out on someone else that they may be self-conscious about or whatever? Like that is so bizarre to me that people do stuff like that. Absolutely, Senior. Yep. And that's I get like beauty is so different to everybody. Like, it is so different to everybody. And so for you to think that your idea of beauty is the right one, you're delusional. Like, that's maybe your idea of beauty. Like, maybe there are certain things that you look at and find beautiful and other things you don't. Fine, but guess what? You don't need to say it, because if it's something that could be hurtful to somebody else, keep your freaking mouth shut and like just celebrate people. Like, I don't get it. Oh, hi Sylvia. Oh my gosh, you're so cute. That you sent a reminder. That makes me feel very special. Thank you. And it's okay that you forgot. I just am happy that you even had set a reminder. Penny, you're so funny. Tim, I don't care. Buffet, I don't want to do that to her. But it's like, but that's your own decision. Like, if you're like, oh, I don't want to. Hi, Asher. High five.
I just want to let you know that I'm here, but I'm about to just go to the Dollar General real quick.
Okay. But yeah, if it makes you feel like something that you don't want to like make your daughter upset or something, that's a personal decision for you to make. And it shouldn't be because of what anyone else would say, Yeah, and Sue, but there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's the way God made you. Like, you're absolutely fine. We're just so terrible to ourselves. And that's the thing too. Confidence. Like, there might be people that you look at and think, oh, because let's be real, we do, as human beings, we make judgments about things or whatever, about people, whatever. You just have to be smart enough. Maturity and intelligence teaches you that like your initial thoughts when you look at somebody are your initial thoughts. That's not reality. And so to say stupid things or to actually really assume those things about the person, you like, that makes you an idiot. So don't do that. But I mean, we just naturally think certain things when we see different people, whatever. And because of different experiences we've had and things like that. But like, there are things that you might look at and think, oh, like if I had that, or if this or that, like I would be like really self-conscious about it. Like I would have no confidence. And they might be the most freaking confident people that and it's like, because yeah, the things that are important to each of us about ourselves or whatever are not what are important to other people. Like the things that we place importance on as far as our self-confidence, that's a personal thing for everybody. That's different for different people. And so it's like to be like, oh, I can't believe she would wear that, or I can't believe he, whatever. It's like people might be looking at you thinking the same thing. Would you appreciate them saying it? Obviously not. Like, and that's the thing too. People do not. I'm about to get real right here. A lot of people do not appreciate confident people. Now, there's a difference between cocky and confident. Let's be real. They're two very different things. But when somebody is confident in themselves, that is threatening to other people who are not confident. Not everybody. Like, I'm not threatened by people being confident, and I'm not a very confident person. But to a lot of people, that is a very threatening thing. Like, people do not like that. It makes them uncomfortable. And like, to be able to stop and realize that's an issue in you, that's your issue, not theirs, again, is a maturity thing. And also the way you were raised, because a lot of people, like, my parents raised me that way. Like, and not to say that they're never judgmental about something, like, because like I said, it's a natural kind of thing, unfortunately, but you have to learn to like realize that your judgments are yours and that's not fact. And so yeah, I like, it drives me crazy when people are like about somebody who's confident about something. And I'm thinking, like, good for her or good for him. Like, I wish I was that confident. Like, to me, that's inspiring. To a lot of people, that's threatening. And that's sad. Like, you need to be able to examine yourself if that's how you feel when other people are confident or successful. If that makes you feel an ugly sort of way, there's something ugly inside of you. Like, and you need to get that in check. She has a mouth. Yeah, no, Senia. And that's the thing too. That's what they're trying to do. And like, to give them that satisfaction. No, 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 no. When you feel good, dang it, you have every right to feel good. And for someone else to say something different than that or try to make you feel Like, you shouldn't. That is the ugliest that is the ugliest kind of person. Like, I mean, there is nothing uglier than somebody who tries to belittle and, like, make someone else feel bad. I think that is just the absolute ugliest. I don't care what you look like. You can be the most freaking beautiful woman in the world with the most amazing body. If your heart is ugly like that, you are ugly as heck. Like, there is just that is so disgusting to me. Anybody, there's no bigger turnoff to. Okay, liars drive me not like I don't want nothing to do with you if you're a liar. But I more so don't want anything to do with you. I don't want to say I don't want anything to do with you. I will pray for you. But I do not want to hang around you. If you are somebody who makes other people feel bad or like is super negative about other people and always picking things apart about other people. And I will tell you, I used to be like that a lot. When I was younger, I was very negative. I was very critical of other people. That is something in that you have to keep in check. Like, occasionally I will see there's certain people who kind of make me feel that way. I actually was just talking to my husband yesterday about there's somebody I'm going to unfollow on Instagram because when I see her, I find myself being critical. And I don't want to be that person. Like, that's not, and I mean, there's a reason for it, but that doesn't make it okay. Like, if that's what I do every time I see stuff of hers come in my feed, it needs to be gone because I don't need that in my life. And that makes me ugly if I'm doing that. And so that to me, I do not want that at all. So people who are critical like that and always picking people apart and pointing out people's flaws and stuff, I don't want that anywhere near me. Like, that is so terrible because if you're picking apart everyone else, I know you're doing it to me. Like, you might not be saying it to me, but I know you're doing it. You're probably saying it to somebody else. And who wants a friend like that in their life? That's not a friend, first of all. Like, that's not a friend. But like, who wants anyone like that in their life? It's just, ugh. And don't be that person. Oh yeah, Penny. But good for her. Like, you know what? Like, that's just unbelievable. She knows that to be like that is rude and no one should be talking about anything about you. Like, that's just disgusting that someone would even do that. So most of my life, I have had very low self-esteem also. It caused me to make a lot of bad decisions when I was younger. It caused me a lot of that to my alcoholism and things like that. And so I definitely understand what that feels like to have low self-esteem like that. It's as I'm getting older, like, I still am critical of myself. I still am not a confident person, but much more so now as I'm getting older and I feel myself becoming more confident as I'm getting older. And that is a really good feeling. Like, being able to appreciate things about myself and not focus on the things that, aren't my favorite. It's just there are things that we cannot change. Like, and you have to be confident that God made you the way he did and he meant for you to be that way. There's nothing wrong with it. And being able to see yourself in that light and go, okay, maybe there are some things that I don't love about maybe personality things that I have, stuff I catch myself doing or whatever, or, you know, whatever things that you can work on, then by all means, you should work on them to improve because we all have things that we can always be improving on. But things that you cannot change physically and stuff like that, we have to be able to let that go because it worrying about it or being upset about it doesn't change it. Nothing's going to. So why do that to ourselves? And that's a lot easier said than done. I know that. But just to be mindful of that because sometimes I literally, you guys, I'm not joking. Like, I will have, something going through my head, just this negative, and I will say, devil, no, like, you are lying to me. That is not true. That's not who I am. And I'm not going to listen to you. And like, I literally will say that stuff out loud and it does make a difference. Like, I'm like, I know these are lies. That is not truth about who I am. And it's just, like, being able to stop and realize that and I mean, declare that like that I'm not going to allow that into my life and to make me feel bad. And it happens to me all the time when I think like, oh, I'm noticing something about like my body changing from the workouts I'm doing and feeling kind of good about it. It's like the next day things will just plummet. Like I feel terrible. I notice this about myself that I don't like. No, I'm not really making any progress. And then I realize like those are lies. The devil doesn't want you to be happy. He doesn't want you to be joyful and, you know, feel good about yourself and realize who you are in Christ. He wants you to feel like you're worthless. And so to declare that and be like, I'm not going to listen to your lies, like it takes his power away. And like, that's a good feeling. It's a dang good feeling. Oh, yeah, I know. Okay, so Senia, the most frustrating thing to me is like I'll feel really good. Like I'll get dressed in something cute and be feeling great. And I look in all these different mirrors in my house. So I've got like a long mirror against the one wall. And then I've got a long mirror that's like on my jewelry cabinet thing. So they're kind of slightly different angled. So I'm like, if something's like making me appear more skinny than I really am, whatever. And then in my bathroom, I have a huge mirror. And so I can see a lot of my body in there too. So that's the one that's probably the most accurate because it's straight, you know what I mean, against the wall where the other ones are like slightly tilted. And so I will look at myself in all these angles and be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, okay, like I feel good. Right. And then you go out and you see yourself in like the windows of stores that you're passing by, or you go in like the dressing room and be like, what? Or see a picture and like it can just like ruin your whole day, which is so stupid. Cause I'm like, no, like this picture, we know like different angles and stuff make a huge difference. That doesn't mean like that might have just been not the best angle. You know what I mean? And stuff. So it's like, it's easy though to kind of do that, like be feeling good about yourself. And then something happens and you're just like, oh, you love food. It's funny. Like I like food. Like there's certain, I don't know, food is not a big thing to me. It would be especially hard if it was. But I honestly am like, tell me what to eat and how much to eat of it, and I'm good with that. Like that's fine. But I mean, however, still like indulging sometimes when there's something that I really want. Like, let me tell you, Chili's, their cheesecake, I might have had it 2 Sundays in a row. I'm just saying. Ooh, Sue, that's a good point. You can't see people's flaws, but you can hear their bad attitude. And that's uglier than any kind of physical flaw someone could have. Absolutely. Who is it, Sylvia? When you're saying the woman they put on, I don't know who that is. Oh, seeing ya. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'll say something in a second. Heck yes. Good answer. Oh my gosh. What is the matter with people? Like your insecurities and the things about yourself that make you uncomfortable are yours. Because that makes you feel that way does not mean someone else should have to feel that way. So to like tell somebody, I'm going to tell you right now, I had an aunt who told my son, I don't think you need more cookies. I think you've had enough on a camping trip one time. I was not there. He had gone and stayed overnight with my mom and dad, and we were coming back the next day and visiting at the campground. My sister lost her crap on my aunt because she was like, don't you dare say that to him. Like he can have just as many cookies as anybody else and whatever. And he was going through, a lot of kids go through kind of that little, like before they hit puberty and, whatever. And they, get a little heavier. Like it's a natural part of life. And for her to say, I mean, and obviously it's something most of us, when we're going through whatever, are self-conscious about because it's different. Like you've been like a certain size, like all, up to this point, and then that kind of happens and it's like, wait a minute, this isn't what I'm used to. And so he was self-conscious about it. And for her to say that, I mean, my sister went off and I'm thankful because I wasn't there and I'm not I'm not feisty like my sister is. But like, that is just so disgusting to do to somebody else. Like, you shouldn't be eating all that or whatever. Like, just because you're uncomfortable. And that's the thing too. If you're uncomfortable by the way other people look, what the heck is your problem? Like, do you live in their body? I don't think so. Like, I don't know how it affects your life. So why in the world would you think you should tell people how they should live or what they should look like or what? Oh my gosh. It blows my mind that people really think that their opinion is that important. Like, people need to get a grip. I can't even. I cannot imagine telling somebody that they don't need to eat. Like, ugh. Like, the only time I even remotely came close to that was I said to one of my nieces something about, "I don't think you need to take more of that." And it was because she had put all this cake on her plate, and it was so much, I knew there was no way she could possibly eat it, was my point. So I'm like, "I don't take more. Like, if you eat that and want more, come back and get more, but don't take all that." And, like, she looked at me kinda funny, and I was like, "It's fine if you want more, but don't fill your plate where you might not be able to eat it, and then you have to throw it away," because that's a common thing that they do. And so, because at first I think she thought I was telling her like she didn't need to eat all that. And I'm like, that's not what I'm saying. Like, let me hurry up and get that because I don't play that game. Like, oh my gosh, that makes me so mad. Like, I felt bad when I realized like kind of that's what she thought I was saying. Like, no, no, no. Like, come back and get more, but just finish that first. Because wasting stuff drives me crazy. Leave me happy self out of it. I love that. Oh goodness. Wow, I only did 2 of the what else did you ask me? Oh, favorite places to go on date night, Penny asked me. Um, well, we usually like to go out to eat somewhere, and then we usually, like, walk around in some kinda store. We kinda like the principle of, like, after you eat, you go somewhere and walk around because it just makes you feel better. And so, yeah, we like to just kinda go, like, out to eat somewhere and then, like, go to some stores or something. Um, I do love we typically go for my birthday, our anniversary, and his birthday, kind of a lot of times we go to an outdoor mall here. Um, not here. It's like 40 minutes away from us, but and there's Starbucks there and different stuff. And so we'll get Starbucks and we sit out and people bring their dogs there and stuff. And so we just sit and watch people and see all the different dogs and stuff like that and like just sit and talk and relax. Like we yeah, we're like pretty relaxed dates kind of people. We don't do like super fancy. And actually lately, um my best friend and then another friend of hers who now we've become really good friends with, we go out to dinner with them once a month. So that's kind of like because we're like super budgeting right now. Since my son is getting married next year, we are trying to be very careful. Like we already talked about, we won't do Christmas presents for each other and stuff, because we just really want to save and be able to help with the wedding and that kind of stuff. And so because of that like budget and stuff too, it's kind of we're really budgeting, how what we're spending every month and everything. So for going out and things like that, that kind of non-negotiable is we love that night out with them. And we do a lot of things just us at home. Like he and I will play games or we watch TV shows, just the two of us or whatever, or we go for walks and stuff. So we spend a lot of time just the two of us anyway. So it's not like we feel like we have to have like a time away. Now that our kids are older, half the time they're gone. So it's not like, you feel like you need that escape from the kids and kind of thing. But so we love going out to dinner with them. And so we've been going to different places that we've never been to before. So that has been super fun because they're like big foodies. And so they've been introducing us to different places. So that's been awesome. Oh my gosh, Carla, that's terrible. Oh my gosh, because that's what God's concerned about. Like, not that you're at wanna be at church and want to know him, it's that you have holy jeans on. Like, people are delusional. Yes, yes, exactly, Penny. Like, if you just go out to eat and then go home, I just wanna take a nap or something. Like, we need to walk this food off. Plus, especially, like, if you eat where you're, like, really full feeling, it just feels good to, like, stretch out and stuff. Yes, a way to walk off the extra calories, definitely. Yes, it is so nice. I love, like, our walks that we go on, because 'cause we're just talking about whatever random stuff we wanna talk about, but it's like we're getting exercise at the same time, and it's, like, time that we're just focusing just on each other and, like, stuff like that, like, simple times like that. Um, we love playing, like, board games or card games and stuff, and so that, while you're playing, you're talking about stuff and laughing, and it's just, like, stuff like that I feel like is so important in a marriage, and, so we definitely that has always been how we've been. So, yeah, so like date nights, we don't mind if like there's other people because it's like we spend a lot of time just us. So it doesn't feel like we need that. Now, obviously, like our anniversary and stuff, we do just us. But yeah, I definitely love that. The rain's picking up. I love though this time of year when everything's like super green outside, and then when the rain's coming down because it's like it's dreary, but it just makes the green seem like so much more vibrant. I love that. Let's see. Oh, and then Lenore said, "What are some things that interest you on YouTube? What kind of channels do you like to watch?" So I know I kind of talked about this. I think in my like maybe it was like yearly favorites or something like that. Um, yeah, or like favorites for 2021 or whatever. But anyway, I love true crime channels. Um, Stephanie Harlow. Her sometimes her personality irritates me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not trying to say that to be rude, but some of the things she says sometimes. Okay, not so much when she's doing her own videos, but I love to watch Crime Weekly with her and Derek Levasseur. He's like a retired police detective, and they do like really in depth um, cases, and I love watching it. It's so good because she does all the research and stuff. She's like a writer and stuff, so she's really into all the research and that kind of stuff. So she puts like everything together, and then he comes on and he puts in his. So sometimes he won't really even know a lot about a case. He is hearing it kind of for the first time, and then taking like what he knows from being a detective and stuff, and using that like kind of along the way to kind of put his like thoughts in on it and stuff. It's super interesting. But when I say about her personality is sometimes the way she talks to him and stuff like kind of irritates me. And it was funny because I thought like am I just being like kind of nitpicky or something? But then one day I started looking through the comments on one of the things, and people were slamming. I mean, they were like, how can he stand to be talked to? Like she talks to him, like he's an idiot, and whatever. So then I was like, okay, I'm not the only one feeling this. But I do love she gets so in depth on stuff. So Stephanie Harlow, and then Crime Weekly is her and Derek Levasseur. And then I love Christina Randall. Her personality cracks me up. When she was younger, she was in prison and stuff. So she's a very um like just real not polished, and that's what she always says, like I'm not polished, I'm just a regular old person just talking to you like if we were sitting on my back porch, kind of thing. And so I love the way like she does her true crime stuff. And so she's the one I've been watching about. She's been covering like the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp stuff, and like she just cracks me up. And then Danielle Hallen is another one. And except for her name's Danielle, but it's spelled with no I, which is actually Danelle, but we'll just let that go. And then uh, John Lorden Arts, or just Lorden Arts, I think is his channel. But I really like all of them. I watch their true crime stuff all the time. And Eleanor Neal, I really like her. She's from the UK. So yeah, and Kendall Ray. See, I just keep coming up with different people. But I love true crime stuff is what I mostly watch on YouTube when it's not like my friends who have channels. And then like the only two big like beauty YouTuber kind of people I watch are Jessica Braun, and I also watch Risa Does Makeup. And a lot of what I like, the reason I watch Risa Does Makeup is because she is in her 40s. She's actually in her late 40s, and she has really oily skin like I do and stuff. So I can appreciate like product recommendations and stuff from her because I know she has skin more, like mine and stuff. Where Jessica Braun, I just really like her personality. And so she actually has drier skin and she's younger and whatever. But yeah, her personality is fun. So that's typically what I watch on YouTube. The two of them, true crime ones, and then my friends, so several of you who have channels. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what I watch. And like I was saying earlier, the thing with like the true crime ones and stuff, like I'm not commenting on those, so I can just have them on while I'm doing other things. So that's kind of nice because then if I don't have time to just like sit and be devoting to being able to leave comments like I like to, then those are the channels that I have on. Kate, that's so funny. My husband started laughing at me so hard the other night. So we were sitting here and I pulled up, I had gone onto Facebook for something because I hardly ever go on there. And I had seen that there was like a friend group that we used to have back when we were younger and we were partiers and stuff. And, things just kind of naturally, once we weren't doing that anymore, we didn't see those people. And so one of the guys, he just turned 45. And so it was pictures from his birthday. And then some of our other friends, were in the pictures and stuff too. And I was like, for some reason, I always pictured that he was older than us, And I said, because I'm like 44, 43. I'm like, am I 43 or 44? And Brian just starts cracking up. And I'm like, what? No. And I go, wait, 44, right? I just turned 44. And he's like, yes. And so I'm like laughing. I go, it's so weird because I always think I'm a year older than I am. So when I was thinking 44, I was like, oh, wait, no. Did I just turn 43 and I'm thinking 44 because I always do that? But then I'm like, no, but I think I am 44. I'm like, yes, I am 44. But he thought that was so funny. It's like, I'm the one with a bad memory. So it cracks me up that you would do that. I'm like, yeah, I definitely was thinking he was more than a year older than me. That old friend of ours, whatever. But it was pretty funny. Oh my goodness. And then it was the craziest thing because of that picture or those pictures that we were looking at. We were talking about other friends of ours that we had been very close to from that group for several years and but haven't talked to in probably at least 7 or 8 years really. Hello. You're not old. Stop it. You turned 60 last November. Okay. Oh my gosh, Sue, that's crazy. I know. Isn't that funny? Yeah, I'm like, what? Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, anyway, so we got talking about this couple and how we haven't talked to them in a long time and stuff because she and I actually had started she was working at a place I had started working at when I was 19 and we met and we became really good friends and thank you, Penny. And then we became very close for a long time. But some things happened. Several things happened repeatedly and finally I had to just break ties. Well, so we were talking about them though, and just, it's so weird because our kids were like the same ages and stuff like that, and just, how life goes and stuff. And aw, you're beautiful, Senior. Yes, doesn't matter what age you are, none of that. It's in here. That's so cliche and sounds stupid, but it's true. If you're beautiful inside, you are just absolutely beautiful. So those are the people that you want to surround yourself with. And yeah, I love that. But yeah, so it was so weird because we were talking about them and stuff. And then yesterday morning, I was getting ready to go to my friend Noni's for lunch. And which, oh my gosh, she makes the most amazing food, you guys. She's Filipino and she makes amazing food. It's just amazing, and she sends us home with a to-go container every time. It's fabulous. So I had last night when I got home, I was making dinner for everybody else. They were having spaghetti and stuff, and I said, "But I'm having noni noodles." So she makes like this. It's chicken and all these like vegetables and stuff, and I don't know what the sauce is. It's kind of like a seems like a sweet chili sauce kind of or something on these noodles, and oh my gosh, it's so good. So yeah, that's what I had. But I was getting ready to go there, and I saw a thing pop up on my phone, like a Facebook Messenger thing, and it was from the girl that we had been talking about the night before, like, whatever, that we hadn't talked to them in years. And I was like, well, that's weird. But the way the thing said, it was like, wants to send you a picture or whatever. So I'm like, oh, I think it's like a spam thing, like her account got hacked. So I was busy trying to hurry up and get ready to leave, and I was running kind of behind. So I'm like, I'll look at it later. So I went for lunch and stuff, which we spent 3 hours there. It was fantastic. We laughed a ton, had so much fun. And so I left from there and had to go shopping. I wanted to get a birthday present for my mother-in-law, and then a birthday and Mother's Day gift for my mom because she's been in Florida. Her birthday was in March, but and she wasn't here for Mother's Day either. They just got home this past weekend. So I was at the store shopping, kind of feeling ugh. And it took me, I was in there for 2 hours and still wasn't super excited about what I found, but whatever. But I came home and I was sitting here and I'm like, oh, I need to look at my phone and see like what that message was all about. Well, it actually was from her, and we ended up talking for like half an hour last night, like just messaging each other back and forth and stuff. And she was like, we really should try. I would love to get together for coffee or lunch or something sometime soon. And I'm like, that would be great. Cause we were talking about the kids and how old they are. Cause they used to be like best friends. They all hung out together. We would, do stuff together all the time and stuff. So it was so weird. Like we had just been talking about them the night before. And then I get a message from her after we haven't talked in like 7 or 8 years. So I thought that was really cool. And like, so I'm excited to kind of just, you know, same thing though. Like you have to have your guard up a little bit. Like people do change for sure. And we're, a lot older now and at different stages in our life. But just remembering like having boundaries, I guess, like knowing that, different types of things that people have done to you in the past and making sure you don't allow it to happen again, kind of thing. And I'm not saying like she's a bad person because she's not at all. But there's just certain things that it's like you have to create boundaries. You have to, healthy boundaries in your relationships and whatever. But yeah, it was just kind of cool to have her all of a sudden reach out when we had just been talking about her. Yes, Sue, you're only as old as you feel. I know, isn't that funny? And that's actually something that she said last night. She's like, "What happened to us? Like, how are we so old?" And I said, "The funny thing is, like, I don't feel old. I feel way better now than I did when I was younger. I'm a lot healthier and just in so many ways. And I said, but when you look at the kids and stuff, that is really what makes you realize how much time has gone by and like just it's crazy because she sent me a picture of her one daughter who's 13, and I said, I so distinctly remember the day that she came and picked me up because our youngest were my son Asher's age. She has a daughter that no, 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 no. She has her youngest before that was my son Riley's age. So Riley is going to be 20. And I remember she picked me up one day. We were going somewhere and she told me she was pregnant. And I didn't believe her because it had been so, okay, yeah. So 7 years difference. Yeah, between so the kids were 7 and, well, Riley and her one daughter were 7, and, she's telling me she was pregnant, and I didn't believe her. I was like, "Yeah, right, like, you'd be pregnant right now," and she's like, "No, I am," and it was a surprise, like, she had not planned it. But so now to think that she's 13, and I so distinctly remember that day, her telling me that she was pregnant. I'm like, this is so weird. Like, how did 13 years go by since then? Like, that's so crazy. But yeah. Okay. I know. It's so weird. It's so fun though to like see your kids like going off on their own journeys of life, you know? I do love that. Well, because that's what's funny too is like she should have already been done with kids in school, 2 years ago. Um, but now then she ended up having that daughter who was 7 years, behind the other. So now, I was the one with a little one, and now he's gonna graduate next year, and she still has her youngest is going into high school next year. So it's just so funny how like that turned out. That's why I didn't believe her either, because I knew she didn't really have any intention of having more kids. So I was like, "Oh, right, like you're pregnant. Like, why are you even saying that?" She's like, "No, I am," but because she has 3 older ones. Her, actually, she was pregnant with her first when I met her when we were 19, or well, she was 20. She's a year older than me. And so, yeah, so she was when I met her, she was pregnant with her oldest, and then she has a son who's Gavin's age, and then a daughter who's Riley's age, and then now this other daughter who is like 3 years younger than Asher. So it's pretty funny. Hi, Emily. Oh, you're home. How was Dave and Buster's? I hope you had a good time. Emily sent me a picture. She just got a new haircut and it's so cute. Like I would love to be able to have bangs like that. My hair's way too thin. I had bangs one time and it wasn't a thing. Because I think too, not just like the thinness of my hair, but because my skin is so oily, they'd get oily so fast, and then that makes you look like you're dirty, and so it wasn't good for me. So I'm jealous of people who can have good bangs. Definitely. I mean, jealous in like a healthy way though. Jealous is not a, very healthy thing. I'm happy for people. I'm happy for people who can have bangs. That's what I'm going for. I was laughing because we were out to eat with our friends, and I find myself, and I realize that I do it, but then like she kind of pointed it out, that I'm always like, I don't like this, or I can't stand when this happens, or blah blah. And so we were talking about stuff in the one night we were out to eat, and she goes, "So you don't really have much of an opinion on things, right?" And I was like, "Oh." I'm like, I actually was just thinking to myself, I need to, every time I start to feel myself ready to say I don't like whatever, I need to stop myself. And if I say anything, it should be like something I do like instead of saying, because I like realize how much, and it's usually like about food or the weather. You know what I mean? It's not like about people or something. It's just like random stuff. But I'm like, yeah, I do say a lot like I don't like this or I don't like that. like, dang it. I need to make a positive spin on things. Jenny! There's my Jenny. We celebrated her yesterday. You cut your own, Sue? Well, I cut those like the long side swept ones last year at home, but which I like now for like since I've been wearing my hair parted down the middle, I like the way it looks having some slight layering. But when they were first done, I could not figure out what to do with them, and I couldn't pull my hair back like this. I couldn't do like my side braid because bangs kept falling right here, and like you couldn't. So I'm like, dang it. But I do like the longer longer slight layers, because if I layer my hair too much, it's way too thin already. Like that would be really bad. But you're brave to cut your own. Definitely brave. Jenny, I sent Beth that video for the no makeup look, which actually Sue, Celestial Rogue, is the one who requested I do that video. And so it was funny because she sent me a text back and she was like, yeah, I actually already saw it and watched it once. I'm going to go watch it again and write down what you said that you used. So next time I go shopping, I know what to get. And so I'm like, I need to go back and look at what I said. Like, cause if there's something on there that I'm like, oh, like that's fine, but you should get this instead kind of thing. So I was sitting here last night watching back to see, and Asher came in and sat down next to me. He goes, imagine watching your own YouTube videos. And I'm like, Asher, stop. I'm like, I know, but there's a reason. He's like, That's pretty funny. Like, imagine watching your own YouTube videos. Like, what a loser. Like, if that's not a narcissist, I don't know what is. Like, no, there's a reason I'm doing it. Like, I'm trying to see, like, it's funny. But I was glad to see that I used a Profusion eyeshadow palette on there because they're so affordable and like I really like them. And so I'm like, oh, so she does go pick that up. Yep, that's good. Okay. Yep, the butter bronzer. Like I should tell her, like, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that mascara, but Oh yes, our kids keep us humble. Little brats. No. Asher does have a great sense of humor. He's pretty fun. He cracks us up all the time. I'm like, kid. Actually, all of our kids do. Like they're pretty funny. They're really witty, and I have to say they get that from their dad because Brian is very quick witted and just says stuff. And he came home yesterday from work and he said, "So today I was standing in the office, like the elementary office or something. No, I think it was central office, maybe at the school. Anyway, wherever." He said I was telling a story about something, and he's like, they were like, "You are the best storyteller." And he's like, "What?" Like, I don't, whatever. And he's like, they're like, "You're not even trying to be funny, but it's funny." And I said, "But that's the thing. I think a lot of times when people like it's just their natural way they tell things and it's funny, like that's funnier than somebody who's trying to be funny. And but it was pretty cute because he's like, "I guess I'm a good storyteller." I'm like, yeah, I would say that's probably true. So yeah, he definitely kids get that from him because they say stuff all the time and I love because Gavin's fiance Noelle, she thinks Brian is hilarious, like the like dad joke kind of stuff that he says and stuff, just really corny. And Gavin, the older he gets, the more and more he does that too. Like he's always been kind of witty anyway, but like he's starting to do more. And I'm like, oh, you're totally getting the dad joke thing going on, whatever. I'm like, good thing Noelle loves that. Like, it's pretty funny. Oh, I have occasional things that I'll do that I'm like, that was funny. Like I was funny just then. Now I'm really proud of myself because we used to always have a joke. Like my mom is just not really very funny. Like that sounds mean, but some people just aren't, like, or she tried to say something funny, but it'd be like you're just like, no, like you missed the mark on that one, mom. But when we were kids, one year on Christmas Eve, she said something really funny when we were on our way home from church. And we were like, oh my gosh, it's a Christmas miracle. Mom just said something really funny. Well, then it was like every year on Christmas Eve, she would say something funny. And so it became like the joke, like mom's only funny on Christmas Eve. Like it's like a Christmas miracle, a little gift God gives her, like a little joke. And so it was so funny. Where my dad is like the totally like dorky, like goofy, yes, dad jokes, but it's even different than that. Like actually Brian does a lot of stuff like my dad sometimes that makes me that I'll be like, oh my gosh, that was like a Steve. And so it is pretty funny to see that. But like some people just have that natural wit and some people just don't. And there's nothing you can do about it. I do appreciate that natural wit though. Yes, birds of a feather. He taught the boys well. But it's funny because it's like they all have funny personalities, but it's all a little bit different. Like Gavin is much more of like a dry humor kind of person. And then Riley is like a very like kind of like sarcastic, I don't know, but like which I think is more like how I am. I'm more of like a sarcastic, funny kind of person. And then Asher is just super like goofy. Like and his are sarcastic a lot too, but he's just like really goofy with stuff. And from really young would have us like cracking up at the kitchen table. Like he's just, I don't know. But so they all have really funny personalities, but they're all a little bit different. And their delivery is a little different. It's pretty awesome. I love seeing stuff like that. Pretty cool too. Today is my mother-in-law's birthday. And so I had sent her a birthday message and stuff. And I was like, I hope you have fun plans for the day or whatever. Well, she was like, I actually don't really have plans, but we are going to the choir concert for my nephew Brad tonight. And I was like, oh, well, that's fun. I said, actually, Riley is playing the drums for one of the songs for the concert tonight at the school. The band director, um, often, like when there's different concert type things and stuff, we'll reach out to Riley and ask him to come and like play at the different stuffs, which I think is very cool because he doesn't really do that. Like you don't really see kids from past years coming back too much and doing stuff like that, but he always reaches out to him. He's always been awesome to him. So yeah, he's gonna go play the drums just for like the one song, and he's actually playing at graduation on Sunday also. But so I said something to Riley about it because his mom, then my mother-in-law was like all excited because she's like, oh yeah, like now I get to see two of my, or well, three, because I'm sure my niece will be there. But my grandkids today. And so I told Riley, I was like, yeah, I was talking to grandma for her birthday and told her like, oh yeah, you'll get to see Riley too, because he's playing drums at the concert. And he goes, yeah. And what I just found out was I'm actually playing drums for one of the songs that Brad is singing. I'm like, oh, that's fun. So she'll get to see one of her grandkids will be drumming while the other one is singing like at the same time. So that's pretty cool. So I'm like, that is a good birthday. That's fun. Aw. Thank you, Anna. That's awesome. Oh my goodness, yes, the pickup stuff at school. Oh, it's been a real long time since I've had to do that, but yeah, like it's like something, please. Give me something to capture my attention. It's so funny. But yeah, I love that. And it was funny because we went last Wednesday to my niece's band concert. She's in 5th grade. And so when we got done watching it and stuff, we were talking to the band director and whatever. And because actually Brian had come home. So I was on here on my live on Wednesday and just thinking, I was going to be spending the rest of the night, whatever, like didn't have plans. Well, Brian got home and he was like, I forgot. And he's like, but Josh, the band director, he's like, he asked me if I would come and set up and do the Facebook Live stuff for the band concert tonight. And I'm like, oh, the band concert. And I'm like, that's Eden, my niece's band concert. And I'm like, I forgot they had mentioned that. Well, I was already ready. Like, I mean, my hair was in that braid. I don't think I'll do that to my hair anymore without putting extensions in because it looks so ratty. But anyway, but I was like, I already have makeup on and stuff, so I can just throw on some different clothes. Like, I'm ready to go because it wasn't very long before we'd have to leave. And so we ended up going to the band concert and watching it and stuff. So then we were talking to him after, and Riley had already like been talking to him about playing for graduation and stuff. Like he had already asked him to do it. And my grandma was there, and so she's telling him, like, I've watched you for years as a band director. She's like, you're so good, because I mean, since Riley was in 5th grade, and he has been graduated now for 2 years. But she's like, talking about Riley and stuff, and she's like, he is such a good grandson. And she said, sometimes I'll hear a knock at my door and I open it and I say, oh, there's my Riley. And he'll just come to visit me. And he is very good about stuff like that. He's very sweet. And so then the band director and his wife were standing there and they're like, yep, that sounds like Riley. Like, it's just, and they're like, it just warms my heart. Like I said, like the fact that the band director contacts Riley and asks him to come and play the drums for stuff at the school and stuff like that. He's kept that connection. And Riley used to babysit their kids sometimes and stuff. And then like for my grandma to be saying that and stuff, it's like, I love when you can see like how other people view your kids like that. And so I just thought that was super sweet. And so today he was talking about going actually and visiting my grandma, but then some stuff changed for the day that he had to do, but he's going tonight to play at the concert. But we actually ended up leaving from the concert and going back to my grandma's house. She's like, well, maybe you guys can come over for coffee tonight. Well, it was like already almost 9 by the time the concert was ending, but we're like, yeah, sure, we'll come over. Cause she had just got home from Florida the Thursday before. So she'd been home for almost a week. And so we went over there and had coffee. We were there till like, I think almost 11 o'clock. But so that was fun stuff too. So I went from Wednesday doing my live thinking I'm just hanging out at home for the rest of the day to going to my niece's band concert and then to my grandma's for coffee until 11. So I'm like, that was fun. Now today I am not actually going anywhere. In fact, I need to get myself, motivated and get my workout done because I know I'll be glad that I did it. But yeah, I've just been Lazy today. And it's funny because it's still raining, but it kind of brightened up a little bit. I can even tell like in the lighting on here. So maybe it's invigorating me a little bit. I actually put peppermint essential oil in my diffuser because it's just like I don't know, like an invigorating kind of smell, like an energizing. I'm like, oh, I need something to give me like some some boost of energy. So that's what I'm going for. I know I'll get my workout done, but I might as well just get it done and move on. Oh, that'll be cool. Yeah, definitely, Sue. Definitely. It's too bad that graduation is, in the summer months because wouldn't it be awesome for people to go to Florida in like when it's cold? Well, no, it does get kind of cold where you're at. Oh, another kid is home. Must be Riley. Like hearing the garage door. We have to keep our garage door shut as soon as like springtime comes. Like every time someone goes in and out because birds insist on trying to come in there and make nests, and they'll try to do it in like the light at the top, like where the garage door opener, like the motor and stuff is.
Yeah.
Riley. And so it's like you can't even have the garage door open for any length of time. You didn't eat it?
Not all of it.
No.
Mexican pizza.
Exciting. Oh my gosh, your hair looks crazy right now.
No, doesn't it?
It's like all hanging out.
Oh, is it? I didn't even notice on the sides.
Hey. Jenny, hi.
Who?
Mrs. Swirlinger.
I don't know who that is.
Stop. Do you hear him? Who? I don't know who that is. You better say hi back to her.
Hello.
Oh my goodness. Jenny, I give you permission to do whatever you feel necessary the next time you see him. He's ridiculous. Oh, these kids. Aren't they fun? Most of the time. We have our occasional moments. Yeah, that will be nice, Sue. For sure. Fun to celebrate your son graduating. Look what the cat dragged in. No kidding.
Yeah, the cat dragged in Mexican pizza.
Like I'm telling her to kick him. She can if she wants to. I told Jenny she can do whatever she feels necessary next time she sees you.
Yeah, when's that gonna be?
Like at church.
I'll do that.
She probably won't kick him at church. You're probably safe. Well, I don't know. Jenny's feisty. Not that feisty.
No, she probably still would. I could see her kicking.
Yeah, I can see her. I can see her kicking you. I mean, not like, not to maim or anything, just to.
I just won't go to church ever again.
Oh, that's his. Yeah, she said I would. He just said he just won't go to church ever again. That's his way of trying to get out of being kicked.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird. How did that happen, Penny? How could someone else kick you out? That's funny that was in that same conversation. So I thought you were like saying like that's my way of saying she can kick him. That's funny. I didn't know someone else could come in and kick you out. That's rude. I didn't do it, Penny. That's funny. I know Jenny wouldn't do it. She'll kick Riley, but she won't kick you. She only kicks people she knows. I haven't quite, like inducted her into the Michigan Mafia yet. No busting kneecaps yet. Too funny. It's hilarious how much that actually comes up. Love it. Oh, Jenny, did you eat your leftover noodles from Noni's? because she was so right about just putting a little bit of water in a pan and then they were so phenomenal. That whole entire takeout container, I ate it all myself. I let Brian have a taste of it. That's it. I like made myself sick. That's so bad. But it was like, oh my goodness, the texture. I think what happened at her house was they got cold while we went and looked in her pantry and did all that stuff. And so I think that made them like chewier because once like I heated them in the pan like that, oh my goodness, were they amazing. I know. I have to induct her to the math. This is terrible, but I just saw that there's like a minivan pulling out from next door, and it gives me like this like panic feeling for a second because it's not one I've ever seen at their house before. Because I just keep wondering when the Jehovah's Witness are gonna start coming back because they used to come all the time, like well, like once a month or something, or maybe twice a month, up to our door. And oh my gosh! But then when the dreaded hit, they stopped coming, and I was like, oh, thank goodness, because I don't know. Like, I would tell them, like, what my beliefs are and stuff, but they still keep coming, and I didn't know how to be like, "Please just don't come here anymore because you're not gonna change what I think." And so it's like I would just have to open the door and talk to them, and I didn't really want to, and it was uncomfortable. So, yeah, every time I see, like, some minivan right around here that I don't recognize, I'm like, "Oh, no." But it wasn't. It wasn't them. Jenny, that's hilarious. So I went to TJ Maxx for 2 hours looking for presents for my mother-in-law and my mom, and I started, like, not feeling good when I was there, I think just because I just wasn't feeling the shopping anymore, and, I came home and heated it up. Well, I made dinner for everybody else and then heated mine up and ate it, so, yeah, that was fun. So it was probably closer to 6 when I ate it, but I know. Well, and that's the thing. I like did tell her because she's like, do you know like this Bible verse? And I'm like, yes. And so then like, I mean, I would, kind of go back about and I even like would pull my Bible out and say stuff, but it was like, she was really trying to get me to believe stuff that I'm like, I know that's not true, but like I don't know how to tell you to please leave. And so, yes, Kate, that's what I said. It was good for something then. That's hilarious. Actually, I told the guy who did my tattoo, I was gonna go get a tattoo. Like it wouldn't have looked like this, I can tell you that. I was gonna go get a tattoo right before that all hit. And so I told him, I said, I was looking at like this girl down like in the city somewhere or whatever. And I said, and I liked what she did. But then I said, when I ended up seeing what your work was, I was like, no, that's exactly what I want. And I said, so that was a good thing that came from COVID because if it hadn't happened, I probably would have got this tattoo and it would have sucked. And I'm like, so now I have like this amazing one. So, and he thought that was really funny. Like a couple good things came from the vid. Yeah, no kidding, Penny. I don't blame you there. You went to Hobby Lobby for 3 hours? I should have gone with you. I could have got gifts from Hobby Lobby. That would have been a good idea, actually. Dang it. I mean, I would have ruined your nice, quiet, leisurely shopping because I would have probably been like, blah, 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 the whole time. Yeah, Penny, I don't blame you. It's funny because Riley has been working for a lawn care company and he like they can't go anywhere obviously that says no soliciting. So he's like, you'd walk up and he's like, but some people it's like they hide it. They put it like in a window, like kind of over to the side. Like, why don't you put it by the door where people can see it and whatever? Like he's like, I feel like they're trying to like trick you so they can yell at you that you knocked on their door. But he got to this one neighborhood because they would give him like a route to go to every day. And he pulled into this one neighborhood and it was like a private, like no, it said like no outlet. And right under that said no soliciting. So it was like the whole entire neighborhood. So he couldn't even go in there. So then he had to wait like for hours while they found him like a new route to go to. Like, oh, ah, thank you, Jenny. I probably would have ended up leaving there with all stuff for me and not presents for anybody. No. Well, it was funny because I was like, okay, we're on like this crazy budget. So I have not been spending any money like on myself or anything. And so I'm in there and I'm finding presents and stuff and kind of going back and forth on what I wanted to get. And I went down the snack aisle for some reason. I don't know why. And I wasn't hungry. and I saw so those skinny syrups, like for coffees and stuff. I have like we have several of them that we use for our like lattes and macchiatos and cappuccinos and stuff. And they had a chai one. And I was like, oh, we have not been spending money on extra frivolous stuff, but this is going home with me. It was $3.99, but it came home with me because I was like, I want that. And then I came home and Brian made me a lovely iced chai latte, like with espresso in it, and it was delicious. And then this morning, I even put a little bit in my coffee, and I am a happy girl. So I'm glad that I picked it up. So I kind of did shop for myself, but it's something the whole family can enjoy. Oh no, sore throat. That is no fun at all. My oldest son is sick as a dog right now. I feel so bad for him. He actually took a test last night, and it was negative, but so he's just, I don't know what he's got, but he was like, he's being forced. He started feeling really sick on Sunday. No, Saturday night. He woke up in the night with a really sore throat and stuff. And then, he Monday switched days, so he took Monday off, so he's working Saturday instead. And he went to work yesterday and he was so sick because he called and he's like, I don't think I can be there. I don't. And his boss was like, well, I have my niece's graduation or something, so I need you to come in. Which here's the weird thing. So he works from like 10 to 6. Her niece's graduation wasn't till 5. And it wasn't, and he's like, so she couldn't have come in earlier in the day. Like, so then the other person would have only been a couple hours. Like I had to come for the whole day. But he was sick. He was like throwing up at work and stuff. And so he's like, that's ridiculous. Like, I'm not doing that again. I was miserable. He said his head hurt so bad and stuff. So that's why I came home and took a test. But yeah, so then today, well, so he told last night, he's like, I will work, but he goes between 2 different stores. And he's like, you need to put me at the one where there's less people because I can't be like there. He goes, I'm having to like try to hide the fact that I'm sick and stuff. Like, and they don't wear masks. Really nowhere around here does anymore, like the employees and stuff. And so he's like, it's like, I don't want people to be like, ugh, like you're sick, even though I just took a test and I know I don't have that. But still, nobody wants to be sitting talking to someone who that you can tell is sick, And but so they told him he can go to the other store today, but he was like not feeling even going to work today. He's like, I feel awful. And he just, yeah, you can tell he doesn't feel good. I'm like, oh. And his definitely started with a really sore throat. I'll sniff out the Parkins. Oh no, Emily, that's terrible. Yeah, that's the same with him. He was like absolutely miserable. And that's so bad when you have to be at work because that's what he goes. So I was like, okay, well, like he let her know how bad it was for him yesterday. And so he was like, I don't know if I should come in tomorrow. Like I'm miserable. And she's like, well, I need you to because my mom's having surgery and I have to. And he's like, it's not my fault that they're understaffed, but that's the thing everywhere. It's terrible because he's like, it's ridiculous that people who are like obviously sick are forced to come into work because places are so understaffed. But then people are going to be mad that you're at work sick. But like what, like what's he going to do? Like, I don't know. The world's crazy. The whole work situations are crazy. It's just ugh, not cool. Well, because I can feel myself slipping away more and more from the working out, I really need to just probably get off here and do it and be done with it so that I feel good and accomplished for the day. Oh, and remember my washer went off balance with all my towels in it, so I need to go reset that so that I can finish that. But I am, Sue. I love me some shopping. In fact, yesterday I wore a skirt to lunch at my friend's house, and they were all like, "Oh, I love your skirt. That skirt's so cute." And I'm like, "I'm pretty sure I paid like 25 cents for the skirt." I'm like, "Yep, that's the way I roll for sure." It's hard though because all of the thrift stores and everything, like the prices have gone up so much. It's like such a bummer. Like I'm actually getting more where I like enjoy shopping on Poshmark and stuff because I look for people who do bundles and like there's a lot of ones that I find they'll do 5 for 25. I have a bunch of 5 for 25 stuff on mine in my closet. And so I'll just find somebody who's got like kind of taste that I like and has several items and do it like that. So then you're only paying the shipping, smaller. And a lot of times people give you shipping discounts or something too. And so yeah, that's the way I've been doing it. So but yeah, I think a few weeks ago I had ordered some stuff or a couple weeks ago. But I'm trying not I do have a balance built up in my Poshmark, but I'm like right now, actually, there's one thing I am looking for. I have just been looking, not I should say looking for, but looking at. I've been looking at dresses for my friend Jenny's daughter's wedding that's coming up. So I'm like, kind of maybe have an idea in my head of what I want, but I'm not totally sure. Um, but yeah, so that's really kind of what I'm looking for. And other than that, I'm trying to be good and not spend money and just use what I have and all that good stuff. And I do still have like my 60 some dollars. Well, no, it's almost $70 because 37 something on a store credit and then a $30 gift card for Ulta. So I'm like, but I think I'm gonna wait for the LA Girl palettes to go on sale again because I really want some of those. Like I have the one that Hey Hey Vacay one I lit, and then but I want to get some of the other ones, like the pink pro palette, but it has more like neutrals in it and stuff. And so I'm gonna wait till they go on sale again. But ooh, egg roll in a bowl. That's so good. Well, thank you for coming on here, Jenny. Enjoy your dinner. Love you, my soul sister. And have a good night. And kick Riley next time you see him. No. But yeah, I guess that I am kind of starting to get hungry too. So I better just get my workout done and then I can make something to eat and all will be well. So I think I will go ahead and let you guys go. And thank you so much for being on here and chatting with me for so long. It was fun. And it was fun to have like a couple like question things like that and stuff to talk about to kind of go off on different little tangents. I'm really good at going off on tangents. So yeah, if you guys think of anything that like for the next one or anything that you're like, oh, I want to know about this, or you have a question for me, just put it like on my community tab and, one of the comment things or whatever. So that will be awesome. But I love you guys. Thank you so much. Have an awesome night and rest of your week. And yeah, I will talk to you guys next week. I do have a video that will be up on Friday for sure. And then I don't have anything planned beyond that. So we will see what I get recorded or what I do here. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to force myself to record things if I'm not feeling it. So we will just kind of see. But so you can rest assured that if I am putting a video up, it's because it's something I actually want to show you or do or whatever. So yeah. But okay, I'll have to check it out. And yes, I'm going to start catching up on more other people's videos. So all right. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.